Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Today I thought I would share with you some prepping strategies for shopping at Dollar Tree. We know that things are not $1 anymore, they're $1.25, but with a $5 bill you can still pick up 4 new prepping items every time you go to the Dollar Tree. Most people can still find a few dollars in their budget to put towards your prepping supplies, your preparedness, gathering up things that you know you will use and need in the future. It only makes sense as inflation is here. Items cost more, and most people are not getting any kind of a raise in their money, their paycheck, that is helping fight that inflation. And so times are becoming harder and harder. It's becoming harder to afford the things we need. And if it's hard now, can you imagine what it could be in the future? And that's why it's really important that you stock up a little at a time of the things that you know you will use. So one strategy for you when you go to the Dollar Tree is plan on picking up 4 new items to put into your prepping supplies. Plan on at least a $5 bill, 4 new items every time you go to the store, or at least 4 categories. You can stock up in multiples of those items if you can afford it. If you can spend $20, get 4 of each. If money is no object, pick up all that you can. But most of us are working under some kind of a budget, and you never want to go into debt over prepping, just like anything else. If you're in debt, get out of debt. Save up cash. Have some cash on hand for emergencies, and then stock up a little at a time for the things that we really need. What are the 4 categories for your prepping strategy stockpiling from the Dollar Tree? You want to get 1 food item, 1 first aid item, 1 hygiene item, and 1 household item, some kind of a tool, something that is useful. All of the other non-food items that are necessities that keep our life running smoothly. So let's look over some of those items that you could get in that category. For example, if you were looking into the food category, you could get a package of Knorr pasta or rice sides. You could get a container of dried fruit or dried nuts, jerky, some kind of a easy to open and eat snack that doesn't require any kind of preparation, something that has a reasonable amount of shelf life on it. Stay away from something like a candy bar. Get something that's more nutritious and that has a little bit more of a shelf life on it that can last longer. You can also look for easy to open foods like the chicken salad with crackers. I think these are really good, and these can be an actual little meal if you need one, because you can just open it and eat it. Another fun food item from Dollar Tree are the potato gnocchis. They're like little dumplings. You boil them in a little bit of water and they start to float. They're a nice change from rice and noodles because they're little potato dumplings. I've made a few videos on recipes of how to cook gnocchi, and I'll link to that if that's something that you haven't ever tried before. Gnocchis are easy to cook, they're versatile, they're a product of Italy, and they are far more expensive if you find them in the regular store. So look for potato gnocchi if you've not tried it. But if you see something you think you might like, just buy 1. Take it home and try it. If you like it, you can always go back and get more. Don't stock up on something you don't know how to use it or if it's any good, because if you don't like it, then you've wasted your money and your prepper pantry stockpile space with foods that nobody wants. Load it up with foods you do want. You want to be excited to go in there in an emergency and see that there's things you enjoy eating rather than things that you dread. There's all kinds of canned foods at Dollar Tree, such as beef stew. You can see chili or different kinds of soups, canned vegetables. Look them over. It can always be a surprise. Even something like chicken a la king. There are lots of things that you can make a meal or can be a whole meal on their own. You can always serve canned foods, make a bigger, better meal, serve it over some of the basic dried foods like rice, pasta, even mashed potatoes. Dollar Tree is also a great place to stock up on spices. You can find the spices and seasonings, single ingredients, which I like to store most of them that way. Look for those because for $1.25, it's becoming impossible to find them for much less than $1.25 anymore. You can also find some blends and combinations. One that I found when I was in the lower 48 was a cilantro lime. I sprinkled it over chicken and it's delicious. I found this great big garlic pepper, However, it does include salt. So whenever you see a combination, make sure you read the ingredients. So if you don't want salt, then you don't have to get it. That's why I like to buy garlic powder and onion powder. I don't want to buy garlic and onion salt because I want the garlic or the onion. Salt is cheap, but sometimes in a combination, and look how big it is compared to some of the other ones. So that was a good buy for $1.25 because it's delicious. Think about your first aid supplies. You want to have a nice stockpile of first aid. Do you remember back during the pandemic and the years that followed it, you couldn't find a lot of the medicines that you wanted, the first aid supplies? They simply weren't available. If we continue to have difficulties with China, that could become a shutdown overnight because most of these things come from China. Most of our medicines, the ingredients come from China, even if they are put together or manufactured in, say, Canada. The ingredients in them come from China, and so it becomes very problematic if you need any kind of medicines or first aid supplies. So check out the Dollar Tree. You can look for things like rolled gauze. Here's some flexible fabric bandages. And then I also have some waterproof bandages. So when you're looking at the Dollar Tree, look the things over. Sometimes you can find better items that you may not have had. They're not always the same items, and so it's important to keep looking, and you can add something if you can find something that you need. Dollar Tree has lots of kinds of creams and ointments, anti-itch cream, diaper rash cream, oral analgesic gel. How about some skin protectant and diaper rash? This is like A&D ointment. For $1.25, that A&D is way more expensive, so if you can find this one and you like that type of a product, pick it up. They also have medicines for athlete's foot. I picked some up for hydrocortisone cream, and then I always try to get a cough syrup because that's something that I need in the winter. And when I start coughing, I need it. I don't have time to go to the store, and last year that was something that wasn't available. If you have children, make sure that you have their medicines also. But what I suggest to you is you make 2 different boxes or containers where your medicines are. You put the children's doses in one box and the adult medications in another one. And then when your child is sick or it's the middle of the night, you won't accidentally mix up and give an adult dose to a small child. You want to make sure that you're using the medications that are designed for your child. Next, think about hygiene, your toiletries, all of those things that you need, from toothbrushes, hairbrushes, bobby pins, mouthwash, shampoos, lotions. How about bars of soap? I like the Yardley soap and I pick it up at Dollar Tree. You can also find some antibacterial wet wipes. I picked up some hand sanitizing wipes. Even get the small packages. You can keep them in your car, your gym bag, your get out of town bag, your bug out bag. Keep these types of little containers to have handy in your emergency gear. I also like to pick up different sizes of the small cosmetics bags and the eyeglass cases because you can make your own emergency kits. You can put together a little fire starting kit, a first aid kit. You can organize your cosmetics if you're going on a trip. Put a family first aid that goes in your suitcase or into your bug out bag. You can make your own out of the items that you buy at the first aid department of the Dollar Tree. So think of all the different ways what could you put together with some of these little cases, and you can have organized little pouches and little survival kits, so to say. Lots of them have a little clip. You can clip it on your backpack, on your purse. They have a little strap. You can hook them onto something else, grab them and go, and then it doesn't look like you're bugging out. It doesn't look like survival gear. It just looks like a nice little carrying bag. They come in a variety of colors and patterns. They don't have to look like makeup bags. Guys, you can use them for your stuff too. You can find a color that you might enjoy so it just looks like, your toiletry bag for going to the gym. I like to pick up extra Dollar Tree glasses, the readers, and I have some. I buy the strongest, the 3.25 or 3.5 if you can find it, and I put that with the first aid so that I can read the directions. I keep them even with my tools so that I can see, like to find where the little screw fell out, things like that. And look for the little kits. You can find lots of little kits at Dollar Tree. You can find eyeglass repair kits. You can find sewing kits. You can find manicure kits. Look for all of those little kits that can have all kinds of little tools that can be so helpful. There are all kinds of struggles that you can turn into solutions if you use some of these little tools, gizmos, and gadgets from the little kits at Dollar Tree. For a while, it seemed like Dollar Tree was just turning into a candy store because things were either unavailable or they were just too expensive for the Dollar Tree to continue to stock them. But the last few times I've been there, it seems like they're more well prepared, more well stocked, that some of the variety of items is gone, but you can still find things that you want. And it can be a treasure hunt. Think of it like a scavenger hunt or a treasure hunt, and go up and down the aisles and see what you can find. I always look for the lighters, the long utility lighters. I like these better than just a cigarette lighter because I don't smoke cigarettes, but I do light barbecues. I light candles. I light fire pits and camping stoves. So these are very handy. You can also find matches at Dollar Tree. So look over those types of things so that you have a good supply, because these don't last forever. You can also pick up great big candles. You can find all kinds of them, but these are nice because these used to be called 80-hour candles or something like that. So a few of these can burn a long time. And that's another reason to want a utility lighter, because as it burns down, you can reach down in and light it again. Sometimes you can even find the long fireplace matches. They're about a foot long, and you can then reach in with a long match, and that's handy to have when you can find them. Think about your lights out kit. What are you going to do in a power outage? You want to have glow sticks for your children. Glow sticks are safe. There's no way they can start a fire. It can bring a little bit of comfort in the dark, and so these are nice to be able to have for your children. Also look for the solar lights that are designed for your yard. Pick up a few of those. I bought some scoops at Dollar Tree for my 5-gallon buckets of rice and beans and oatmeal, stuff like that. I also have an extra set of measuring cups and spoons that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and this also goes in my food storage because I have like the number 10 cans from the LDS or the Mormon Church, and I also have some Augustin Farms. And when you open those number 10 cans, you may not want to use the whole can at once because it's designed with a lot of food. So you can measure out the amount that you want, then you can snap the plastic lid back on it and store it away. For once you open the number 10 cans, they usually need to be used within a year. So you can then measure out the amount that you need. You'll have this with your food storage, so you don't have to start guesstimating how much you actually need out of those containers if you're in an emergency situation. Dollar Tree has all types of Ziploc bags, garbage bags, trash bags, all kinds. Look over the type of bags that you use and stock up on extras of those. Something that I do when I buy boxes of Ziploc bags, I will get 2 boxes of them. I'll open up the end and I'll shove the other box into one so that then each box is 2 boxes full. They don't take up as much space in the pantry. It helps save room in my prepping supplies stockpile, and then I have double the amount that it seems from just having 1 box. It actually contains the contents of 2. Dollar Tree is a great place to stock up on socks. When spring is here, get some extra garden seeds. You might be able to sprout some on your windowsill. If you live in a warm climate, you may even be able to start growing these during the winter. That's not really possible here in Alaska, but it might be where you are. Dollar Tree has still been selling seeds for $1, so they're nice to have put away for your survival seed garden too. I bought a padlock with a key from the Dollar Tree. It's always nice to have an extra little lock, especially as things become weirder in the world and people are more unpredictable. If you want to lock up a few things, if they can't get into your shed or they can't get your bicycle or into your toolbox, they'll move on. They don't necessarily want to stay and try to break your lock. They're looking for opportunity. People go down the street and they test the doors and they go in the homes with the unlocked doors. And there's enough people that leave their doors unlocked that it's inviting in criminals, and so they're looking for opportunity. Sad, isn't it? But that's what happens. So stay alert, keep your doors and windows locked, always keep your car locked when you're driving, and then look around you all the time, simply because the world is becoming more unpredictable and we want to make sure that we have the things we need. If people become more desperate because maybe they don't have another $5 bill to go to the Dollar Tree, it could put us at risk if we are able to do that. So we don't want to have any problems. So look it all over at Dollar Tree and pick up the amount of items that you can afford when you go. Leave it in the comments below. What are some items that you can still find at Dollar Tree that you recommend that we look for when we have the opportunity to go there too? I hope you'll like my video, share my video, please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.